Brenda's screeching protests faded into the distance as the police cruiser's siren wailed, leaving a stunned silence in its wake. The street, once so meticulously quiet, now felt charged with a strange new energy. Neighbors who had been peeking from behind their blinds now came out, a few shyly at first, then more with an open sense of shared relief. They didn't say anything, but their small nods and quiet smiles spoke volumes. This was the first time they had seen Brenda's reign challenged, and the outcome was nothing short of miraculous. I stood in my driveway, the air still thick with the residue of her fury. The deep gouge on the hood of my car, once a source of anger, now felt like a battle scar, a painful but meaningful symbol of a victory. My phone buzzed in my hand. It was Mark. "Dude, what was that?" he texted. I saw the cruiser from my window. "Everything okay?" I typed back, "More than okay. Brenda's in a police car." His response was immediate. "No way. The Queen of Karens is arrested?" I smiled, a genuine wide grin that felt foreign on my face after months of dealing with her. "Yeah, vandalism and assault. I have it all on video." Mark called me moments later, his voice full of a giddy mix of shock and amusement. "I knew she was crazy, but a full-on tantrum on your brand new car, that's next level." "It was wild," I admitted. "But now, what do I do? I mean, about the car and everything." "You get a lawyer, Ryan, and you sue her. You sue her for every penny she has," Mark said, his voice firm. "This isn't just about a car. This is about her bullying everyone for years and getting away with it. This is your chance to make her pay for all of it. For Mrs. Peterson's garden, for Mr. Garcia's lawnmower, for all of it." His words resonated. This wasn't just my fight. It was the neighborhood's. A thought sparked in my mind, a plan forming out of the chaos. Brenda's threat of revenge, her promise that her husband, Councilman Harris, would retaliate, no longer felt like a threat. It felt like a challenge, and I was ready to meet it head on. The next few days were a blur of activity. The police report, the insurance claim, the initial consultation with a lawyer specializing in property damage and civil suits. My lawyer, a no-nonsense woman named Ms. Reynolds, was a godsend. She listened patiently to the whole story, watched the video, and a grim smile appeared on her face. "Mr. Ryan," she said, her voice a low rumble, "this is a gold mine. The video is rock-solid evidence. We can easily file a civil suit for damages to your vehicle, and, with a bit of a strategic approach, we can get an injunction against her from contacting you or anyone else in the community. She's also likely to face criminal charges for assault and vandalism." "What about her husband?" I asked. "She kept mentioning he's a councilman." Ms. Reynolds scoffed. "Councilman Harris is a public servant, not a king. He can't interfere with a police investigation, and he certainly can't stop a civil suit. If anything, his involvement will only make this a bigger media story, which we can use to our advantage." She was right. The story spread like wildfire. A local news crew picked it up, and soon my driveway was the center of a media circus. I gave an interview, calmly explaining what happened, showing the damage to my car, and sharing the video. The story went viral. The comments section was flooded with people sharing their own Karen stories, their own HOA horror tales. It was clear Brenda's behavior was a widespread problem, and I had become an unlikely hero for a legion of frustrated homeowners. Councilman Harris, to his public embarrassment, was forced to issue a statement. He claimed his wife was under immense stress, and that he did not condone her behavior. But the damage was already done. The video, now everywhere, showed the truth. Brenda was the face of HOA tyranny, and I was the one who had finally stood up to her. But the war wasn't over. One evening, after the cameras had left, I found a letter in my mailbox. It was from the HOA. It was not a fine, as I had expected. It was something far more sinister. It was a formal notice stating that, due to unprecedented negative publicity and a breach of community harmony, the board had decided to hold a special vote to remove me from the community. A small, chilling message at the bottom read, "You may have won the battle, but the war is far from over. BH." I showed the letter to Mark and Ms. Reynolds. Mark's face paled. "That's a bit much, isn't it?" Ms. Reynolds, however, smiled. "This is exactly what we wanted. They're overplaying their hand. They've gone from a simple harassment case to a public, legally indefensible war. Now, we fight fire with fire. And so we did. We filed a new lawsuit, this time against the entire HOA board for defamation, targeted harassment, and conspiracy. We subpoenaed every member of the board. The simple act of defending my car had turned into a full-blown civil rights battle for the entire community. I wasn't just fighting for my car anymore. I was fighting to take my home and my neighborhood back from a tyrant and her cronies. The game had changed, and I was all in. The revenge I had planned was no longer a simple act of justice. It was a revolution.